Allie Carter already said who she saw, and it wasn't Trump. Yeah, it's them I feel bad for. I really do, because, for decades now, there's been victims that have tried to go after these people, and then these people turn around and go after them. So for people like Allie Carter and, or Virginia Giuffre and many, there's so many others, right? Some that are gone, some that, are too afraid, and you can't blame them. They don't want to speak up because of the nightmare they'll be put through. It's them that I feel bad for, because they were already victimized. And then to hear some Christian come along and act like that they have some right to judge Donald Trump's deeds, when he literally was the reason that this scum was taken off taken off the street, is so infuriating to me. It's like, that's why I call it, it's like this Pharisee energy. I mean, for anybody to think that Donald Trump wasn't an insider, Donald Trump wasn't trying to help do something about this, okay? And likely this whole going back to 2009, they realized they couldn't do anything. Like, yeah, they convicted Epstein, but he still had so much influence and power. He was able to go after the very lawyer that went after him and convicted him. This is why Cindy McCain said nobody would touch it, because it's so connected. And yet Donald Trump and his whole family, they put everything on the line. Like, they literally have been the most selfless people. Like, it just makes me want to cry in a way, because it's just so mean. It's, mean-hearted Christians that don't even know God. They don't even know themselves. They can't think for themselves, and they just, believe whatever they're told about the Bible, and then they sit in this place of judgment, when what they're judging is a bunch of lies, instead of looking at truly what his fruits are. So, but yeah, it's like Allie Carter, it can't be what she went through. It can't be easy, yet she speaks up. She's been on, some of your alternative news media at times, telling her story, and what she's talking about when she said, no, Trump was the only one willing to do something about it. I was like, yeah, I can back her up on that, because not that I was trafficked, of course, but I saw it from another end. I saw it that all of a sudden there's this pattern of these women regularly coming from this safe house. And, I had been a nurse in ER for a while, a psych nurse for a couple, and all of a sudden this pattern starts developing. And then I talked to the woman of the safe house, and then, again, I've told the story a million times. Then when I saw Trump's executive order a couple months, or maybe it was 3 months, I don't remember, but it literally had in there to have these transition houses so that they can help them heal, and they're faith-based. So any Christian carrying on like this, please stop calling yourself a Christian. Maybe you follow Allah or something. I'm just being sarcastic, because Allah means God. But maybe you follow the Hamas path. But maybe what you really should do is sit in reflection and look, at your own deeds. Because nobody can say they have the deeds of the Trumps, especially Donald Trump's. Really, you can't, because he didn't have to do any of this. He didn't have to put himself out there and go through this, what he's gone through for the past 8 years. And really his number one thing to eradicate, again, but was never talked about. They never wanted to talk about it, because the very same people that pay the media, where the media gets their paychecks, is part of that very same problem. It's all those big wealthy people. So they make sure that, everything raunchy and horrible is said about Donald Trump, and none of it is true. It's just not. People see a picture of Epstein and Trump, and it's like, so put it together. Like, if he helped in the 80s for the FBI to use his building, use his hotels, because he had told them that, the mob's always in here. They're always in here doing business and deals. Like, you can use my building. I mean, he is responsible for being a big help to them being able to do something. Now, they've scrubbed all that from the net. I'm hoping that will resurface itself, though. I mean, that's literally why they've been scrubbing the net of everything. is because Donald Trump is a huge threat to them. That's the reason they've tried to assassinate the man. But these people are disgusting people, and if you're a Christian and you can't put aside and see deeper what his fruits are, what he's been trying to do. I mean, look at it this way, okay? Because I've said for a long time, I think the person you see on stage with Donald Trump, I think, yeah, that's the brand Trump, okay? But that's kind of the, they always like to put this narcissistic label on him, and there's no way he's a narcissist. Look at his kids. That'll tell you. So, but you almost have to have sort of that act, that showman that you're showing, especially to people like Epstein and all of these people in this elite crowd, because then they'd write Donald Trump off as, all he cares about is buildings and money, because that's sort of like this, projection of what he's shown, is that, and even then people like him, he's honest with his deal making and all of that. But I mean, I think that what people don't put together, in my opinion, is likely this has been an operation in the works for a very, very long time, because we don't have good judges. We have lawyers, massive amounts of lawyers with firms that are all tied to this, and many other people, which is why that's why the whole system is corrupted. That's the reason why you have to weed all this stuff out. It's the reason, these judges do have to be looked at. You need to find out who's changing people's testimonies, and, who's literally putting out documents that aren't even true, court documents. I mean, they'll go to that length. So, it's just, for anybody saying they're a Christian, I don't believe them, and I think that they're literally people that are there to try to lead others astray, because this is what this world does. It goes after and judges the very people that, in my opinion, God would put in high regard.